All right guys, check this out. We have finished the build. It's absolutely epic. Let's run you through the whole thing, a full walk around. Let's go, let's get into it. So as we said, it's a 2 meter tray so 2 meters wide by 2 meters long as well. It's absolutely huge. We have front toolboxes, rear toolboxes. So let's get into it. First thing you can notice, full blackout. Every single bit of chrome we've got here, black. So it's a real cool feature we did for this one customer. Starting with the canopy. So this side is basically the storage side and the beer fridge. So starting off with a 40 litre drawer fridge freezer. So that one's by Evercool. Basically that is goes down to about -12 degrees, so it is technically a freezer. We then have 2 drawers, both the same. So we've got actually all the customer's gear in here already. So that's your standard drawer, and then pulls out again. So we literally have 3 units this size in this canopy. It's absolutely massive. So that means we can basically put the drawer or pull the drawers out independently of the tables. So this one here is still the same unit. We can pull that one out, or you can pull both out together. With this canopy, it's quite an easy removal of these drawers. So this customer needed somewhere to put his surfboards. So this unit and the one next to it, they unbolt. So it's 6 bolts, you can take them out. And then you have full 2 meter width to store all your long boards and whatnot. Up here we have the Enerdrive setup. So the Enerdrive is our full touring kit. So we have on our Epic board, which is made at Enerdrive, we've got the Cymarine DC charger, the 2 kilowatt inverter, so 60 amp AC charger in there, all the switching, GPOs, USBs, Andersons, you name it, that panel's got it. It's absolutely epic. Bit of rooftop storage in here, so that's just for a table to go up the top. We also have in the doors, this is standard now, we have a door stiffener. So it works to torsionally stiffen the door so it doesn't twist too much because they're so long, but it also acts as a double skin. So if you do have something loose in your canopy and it flies into the door, it's going to dent that inner skin and not the outer skin. So that's a cool little feature. Below the tray, as I said, we've got toolboxes all the way around. So on the front, it's a 53 litre toolbox. So this is our standard. We only slide out toolboxes. We don't have any drop down style. In all these toolboxes, we also have lighting. So there's 12 volt that come in. We've got lighting, and we also have central locking. So that's wired into the OE remote. So it's one click of a button. It locks every single lock on the tray and canopy. It's absolutely epic. So as I said, 53 litres in the front there. And then if we go to the back one, this one's 63 litres. So that one's on 16-inch slides, which is about 406 millimeters. Lighting again, so we got light in there. They don't look massively bright in the daytime, but at night it's more than enough to light everything up. Same central locking, so as I said, one click of a button does everything. We have dual outlets on this side, well, dual outlets on this car. So we have one on this side and one on the other, so they're both hooked up to a pump. So one really cool feature we have with all our GCI Traytec American build is the 12 volt systems that we run. So obviously we have the Enerdrive system in there, but one problem you're gonna encounter is if you have a 12 volt pump underneath, how do you power that if you take your canopy off? Because all our systems are jack-off systems. So if you take your canopy off, you still want to power up that pump, otherwise you can't get your water out. So we switch it to the starter battery. So you don't always want to have it hooked up to your starter because it's more likely to go flat. So behind here, basically that's where all your hot wire, all your central locking feed, all your water tank level and your water pump go through the canopy. You unplug it from the canopy and then we put it into its own little flyer lead, which basically shorts out the things it needs to power up off the starter battery. So when you only have the tray, you can still use your toolbox lighting, your water pump, all the electronics under the tray, but it's going off the starter battery. So on the back of the canopy, we have so much going on. So what looks quite basic, there's a lot tucked away, so let's run through it. Starting with reverse sensors. So factory RAM, we relocate the sensors so it works with OE head unit, so it works absolutely perfect. Same with the reverse camera. So we mount up in a little 3D plastic housing so that you get the same view as standard. So basically you get your tow ball as well as everything behind you. So it's literally as it was before you got the Traytec put onto it. This absolute massive unit here, that's a 12,000 pound worn winch. So we've tried to design it so it looks like it comes basically from factory. It goes with the tray, and then we have all our outlets. We've got a 12-pin Anderson out, and then we've got the trailer camera air out from the compressor, and then our airbags. So everything which needs to be mounted on the back is tied into our winch mount. So they're basically rated to about 7,000 kilograms. So obviously it's a 5,500 kilo winch. You want to exceed that with your bracket. So if something is to break, you want the winch to break before the bracket. On the back of the canopy, we have a storage box. So it's basically a jerry can holder, but we've stretched it out. So that's just to make the most of this space, which otherwise would have been wasted space. So I can open that up real quick. So it comes over like that. It's sort of the same design as a jerry can, and also the porta potty mounts that we do. The rear ladder is a really cool feature. So it looks quite bulky, right? So let's unfold it and explain why it's larger than what we would do otherwise. It's got a jerry can mounted inside it. So you can literally walk up here, not a problem, to your rooftop tent. But then you can also pull these, swing that up, get your jerry out. So 20 litres of fuel, which again would have been wasted space otherwise. We've also made sure that that's not straight up and down, so it's much easier to walk up. Again, it's all lockable, so they're all slight keyed, so it's the same key to undo it all. So spare 35 on the back. Basically, because it's a full length canopy, we need to make a new spare wheel holder to make sure the load of that wheel isn't going to be just hanging off the skin. So what we do, rather than just welding on an additional piece onto the outside skin of the canopy, which is 3mm, we've got a massive, it's a full length of the canopy, it's made from 3mm steel. That way, all the load of the tyre is going into the frame, so the internal frame of the back of the canopy, rather than just pivoting on the outside skin. So it's one way to make sure it's not going to crack over time with the corrugations in the road. Under tunnel drawer, so we've got a 1.2 metre under tray drawer, so that pulls all the way out. Again, it's the same as all ours, we can literally stand on it, not a problem. And then we've had to increase the rear section to make sure it still opens without interfering with anything. So we've got all the recovery gear in there, our compressors, straps, tool kits. Basically, there's so much stuff you can fit in there. It's crazy. And then it's a perfect height for a bar as well. So dual purpose. Slide him away. Last feature on the rear of the canopy is the shore power. So obviously we've got a massive EnerDrive touring package. We need to power that up when we get to camp, or charge it when you get home. So instead of having to leave the door open and all that sort of stuff to get a cord in there to charge the 60 amp EnerDrive charger, right here's our shore power. So if I open that up, you can see that it's a 15 amp plug, so that you can power into anything at home or the caravan park. And then with the transfer function of the inverter, basically any loads coming off the internal of that canopy is going to come from your shore power. Whatever's remaining will go into the charger and charge the battery up, so it's the best way to do it. All right, on the passenger side of the GCI Traytec tray and canopy package, we have the kitchen setup. So we'll run through in a second, but before we get there, underneath the tray, we have the same setup on the other side. So front toolboxes, 53 litres. In here, I've actually got the new fuel filler, so we're going to change this one to be blackout because it's going to look absolutely epic once it's all done. That's why that one's not changed over yet. So yes, 53 litres, 63 litres. We've got a second water out here, water outlet, so they're both pumped, so that's a 10 litre per minute flow rate. And then up the top here, we have the additional GPO outlet for the EnerDrive package. So this is where our inverter switch is. So I have to turn all the AC power, so all your power points on. I got to turn the inverter on. So that is the inverter switch. That's mounted on the kitchen side because you're more likely to use that power point there to run any kitchen appliances than you are on the other side. So now all these are live. I've got my USBs all live. Same as on the other side. So we've got the dual pull out. Really cool to basically set up all your toasters or bread toaster, toasting machine, anything, which I'll show you in a second, up to that power point. This here is a pantry. So this is a standard pantry we do for the American builds. So we've got storage, 3 storage compartments, and in the back here, it's not in at the moment, but that's actually a soda stream mount. So we need to, well, one of the criteria for this customer is I need to be able to make fresh soda water for my G&T. So bang, that's where we put it. All right, so this unit here is the kitchen. So what we do, it's similar to the pantry we just saw. It's the other way. It's a lot deeper, but inside it, we have everything you could need to go off grid for quite some time. So literally coffee machine, microwave. As the inverter's on, so is the microwave. So turn that, open that, we've got light, we're ready to roll. Toaster, pie warmer, and then our toasting machine as well. So if I were to just get the wet wipes out, if I grab our toaster machine, pop it here, unravel it. I can literally plug into our power up here, turn it on, and we're on. Ready to go. It's absolutely awesome. The fridge setup we use is a Dometic 110 litre on this specific build. There are a few options with the uprights. We can go up to 130 litre as well. So opening that up, this one's left pivoting. So we have 110 litres, nice and cold in there, and then we've got the freezer compartment up there as well. So a real neat solution, and it's packaged so well in the GCI Traytec Canopy. It's epic. There's no wasted space. It's one of the best ones out there. So that's a wrap from the walk around video of the DS 2.5 Ram build we've done. It is absolute monster, it's huge, it's awesome. The customer's stoked with it. So if you've got a massive American truck, it doesn't have to be a Ram, it could be the F-Truck, but even a domestic car like a Ranger or a Triton, let's make the GCI Traytec conversion happen for you and your car. Make sure you check our other videos out. Chuck us a subscribe, there's heaps more builds going through just like this one. Make sure you keep an eye on the GCI Traytec channel, it's going to be epic.